Horror games have been slowly but steadily growing in popularity as of late. Many smaller development studios have been putting out some great works of the genre. And of course, there's no shortage of classics that already exist. Horror games are known for having some exquisite arsenals to take down those pesky creatures. So in this feature, we're going to take a look at the best of those. Mind-blowing Knife, Dead Island. Developer Techland's Dead Island is a game that was showered with praise by both fans and critics upon its launch back in 2011, and for good reason. With one of them being its great offerings of tools that players can use to smack zombies in the face. Slashing zombies with Mind-blowing Knife will cause their heads to explode thanks to its 100% critical hit chance, making it one of the best weapons to crowd control zombies, or better yet, kill them in one fell swoop. Hand Cannon, Dead Space 2. The Dead Space series is perhaps one of the genre's very best, with fans singing praise about the game almost endlessly. Dead Space 2 is no different in this regard and houses a pretty unique weapon in its arsenal of limb-detaching tools. Players who complete the game in hardcore mode will get access to this red foam sports hand. It has a very unique style, does not require any ammunition, and it has a variable rate of fire, depending on how fast you can pull the trigger. Heather Beam, Silent Hill 3. The Silent Hill games are known for being a beautiful mishmash of weirdness and beauty, all of which stand true in the case of Silent Hill 3 as well. Players who kill a total of 333 monsters in the game, be it in a single playthrough or multiple, will get this one hell of a unique weapon. The Heather Beam sees players shooting out energy crystals from their mouths. A very unique weapon indeed. Goo Cannon, Prey. Prey is, at its heart, first and foremost an immersive sim, although it does have its moments of horror with the spooky space station of Talos 1 and the horrific monsters that hide within its space. To state that the Goo Cannon is one of the most versatile weapons of equipment in gaming would be an understatement, although it straight up shoots blobs of goo that can be shot in succession to stop an enemy in its tracks. It can also be used to create goo staircases along walls and other surfaces, which also makes it a vital part of the game's exploration aspect. Whirligig Saw, Bloodborne. Much like Prey before, From Software's Bloodborne isn't a horror game at its core, but its ominous creatures never fail to instill a sense of dread in any player's hearts. The game houses an exquisite collection of transforming weaponry, with one of the most unique among them being the Whirligig Saw. The weapon can function as a long-handed mace or a buzzsaw, the latter of which is pretty satisfying to use, especially when one upgrades the weapon to have a high damage output or combines it with beast blood pellets. Chainsaw Bike, Dead Rising. Surviving for days in a zombie-infested Fortune City is no easy feat, so it becomes absolutely essential to have the best weapons by your side to have a shot at survival. The Slice Cycle is one such weapon that can make light work of zombies in moments unnoticed. It's a motorbike fitted with lethal blades on its handles, which players can get by completing the mission Meet the Contestants. It's one of the most creative items in the game, and at the same time a gruesome tool for killing hordes of zombies. Brass Knuckles, Evil Within 2. The Evil Within 2 is chock full of nightmarish encounters, and while players mostly get a standard arsenal of weapons to dispatch these horrors, the Brass Knuckles are an outlier in this regard. A seemingly standalone melee weapon, the Brass Knuckles can deal a surprisingly high amount of damage in one fell swoop. 150 points to be exact, which is much more than enough for downing most non-boss enemies. However, getting the weapon is a tough task in itself, and players will have to complete the game on at least classic difficulty before obtaining the weapon. The Torch, Alan Wake.
You don't even recognize.
Remedy Entertainment is known for its excellent storytelling ability and unforgettable characters, both of which are present in its 2010 release Alan Wake. The dark town of Bright Falls is home to denizens turned Taken that can only be made vulnerable through the use of this weapon. It's just a standard flashlight and is used in conjunction with another weapon to actually dispatch the Taken, but is an absolutely necessary part of the game's combat loop. Electropylon Driver, Returnal. This time-looping roguelike might not be everyone's cup of tea with its brutal difficulty, frantic firefights, and permadeath mechanics, but it houses a decent number of exquisite weapons, with one of them being the Electropylon Driver. It's a weapon that shoots a series of pylons all over an area, which then forms a complex web of energy that damages anyone caught in it over time. Some fans even consider it to be the best weapon of the game, and while that fact can be debated endlessly, one cannot call it anything but unique. HELLUVA Home Run Baseball Bat, Dying Light. Developer Techland's Dying Light has a pretty robust weapon system, where players can do a ton of modifications to the melee weapons to make pretty creative tools of destruction. One such tool involves using the HELLUVA Home Run weapon mod on the baseball bat, which will apply a strong burning effect on the weapon, which of course translates to great damage output. It might not look the most unique in its form, but certainly is in its function. Chicago Chopper, Days Gone. Days Gone might not be the most horrific game on this list, but the freaker hordes can be more than enough to scare the hell out of most players. The game's arsenal consists of mostly standard-issue pistols, rifles, submachine guns, and while the Chicago Chopper isn't the most outlandish weapon, it certainly stands out from the rest of the pack. The Chicago Chopper is a Tommy gun with a large drum magazine and a high rate of fire, which makes it great for crowd control, or should I say freaker horde control in the game. Snark, Half-Life. Half-Life is the granddaddy of modern first-person shooters. Protagonist Gordon Freeman has access to some pretty unique weapons, including, but not limited to, snarks. As evident from the name itself, snarks are alien creatures that Freeman can tame to use against enemies. Used primarily as a throwable, these creatures will attack the nearest enemy. However, one should be careful while using them, since they can even attack Freeman if they don't find any enemies in a certain radius. And with that, we reached the end of the video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on Gaming Bolt, so please consider subscribing as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.